Hey there, and welcome back for our deep dive into The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, one of my absolute favorite personal finance and personal development books that really has shifted things for me, transformed my financial situation, put me on the path to where I was able to pay off my debt totally and completely in 18 months. And my goal is as I share this book with you each and every week, there will be a specific nugget, key takeaway that you gain from the book that as you implement, you can too go on and change your own financial situation. Again, we live in a time and a space where opportunities come for each and every one of us. We have to be prepared for the opportunities when they arise. And those opportunities, sometimes they come with a financial cost or commitment, right? And if you begin to implement the strategies that you hear in the book, put the systems in place, then when an opportunity presents itself to you, like we talked about last week, a viable financial opportunity, something that can grow and increase your income, or an asset that will produce income or revenue for you, that you'll be in the best position financially to be able to take advantage of those opportunities and be able to go on and increase your net worth. So today we are going to dive deep into the fifth cure for a lean purse. The fifth cure for a lean purse. Tell me some of your takeaways also of what you gained from the book. But the fifth cure: make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. The man setteth aside 9 parts of his earnings apart upon which to live and enjoy life, and if any part of this 9 parts he can turn into a profitable investment without detriment to his well-being, then so much faster will his treasures grow, spoke Arcad to his class at the fifth lesson. And if you remember, we've been talking about a part of all you earn is yours to keep, and at least 10% of your income you're putting away, and it's going to be for opportunities that will cause your income to grow, or into assets that will ensure income for you in the future. All too many of the men of Babylon do raise their families in unseemly quarters. They do pay to exacting landlords liberal rentals from rooms where their wives have not a spot to raise the blooms that gladden a woman's heart, and their children have no place to play their games except in the unclean alleys. And that is true. Home ownership is it not only benefits the person who buys the home, but if they have a family, just to be able to have a yard of your own, a place where your children can run free and play, that gives most people pleasure. Most people desire to have that for their children, a safe place that they can call their own. They can run, they can enjoy, they can play, they can build friendships. Because your first friends most times are those in your neighborhood, right? Those that you are growing up with side by side. No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clean earth, and where the wife may raise not only blossoms but good rich herbs to feed her family. That's another benefit of being able to have your own home, your own land, is that you can plant and grow healthy foods and fruits and vegetables, herbs in your garden that you can feed your family, instead of the things that sometimes we find in our local stores that are full of pesticides and poisons and toxins that are healthy for us or healthy for our bodies. Being able to do that for yourself and grow your own fruits and vegetables, although not everyone desires to do that, but just having your own land allows you the opportunity to be able to do that. And I have a sister-in-law who has bought an extensive um, property where she can do that. And I think that is a beautiful thing, to be able to grow your own herbs, your own fruits, your own vegetables. Get those things from your own garden in which you can cook and feed and satisfy your family. I've had a garden for the last couple of years. I think I want to have it again this year. I do need to clean up the garden bed. But I did enjoy that as well, being able to pick vegetables from my garden and then cook, and then having cilantro and parsley and different herbs that I could use and put into my stews or my salads, um, that help nourish my family. That was something that I thoroughly enjoy, and the book is telling us that most people do get enjoyment from that. To a man's heart, it brings gladness to eat the figs from his own trees and the grapes from his own vines. To own his own domicile and to have it as a place he is proud to care for, putting confidence in his heart and greater effort behind all his endeavors. Therefore, do I recommend that every man own the roof that sheltereth him and his. Nor is it beyond the ability of any well intentioned man to own his home. Have not our great king so widely extended the walls of Babylon that within them much land is now unused and may be purchased at sums most reasonable? Also, I say to you, my students, that the money lenders gladly consider the desires of men who seek homes and land for their families. Readily may thou borrow to pay the brickmaster and the builder for such commendable purposes, if thou can show a reasonable portion of the necessary sum which thou thyself hast provided for thy purpose. Then, when the house be built, thou can pay the money lender with the same regularity as thou did pay the landlord, because each payment will reduce thy indebtedness to the money lender. A few years will satisfy this loan. So in this point, he's talking about if you're paying rent right now, in the market we live in, rent costs are really high. If you can afford to save and have a down payment for your first home, there are many programs out there now that even offer down payment assistance and first time home buyers um, concessions and things like that. If you can save to be able to purchase your first home, then you will end up in the long run better off owning something that you can have, that you're able to write off the interest or the mortgage interest, and then to continue to pay your landlord and not receive anything from that on the other end. There are times when people need to rent. There are times when people should put themselves in a position where they can best save before they take on having a home of their own, because it is a financial responsibility. And there are some things that come with financial home ownership, some responsibilities that you don't necessarily have when you're living in someone else's place. But the satisfaction, the reward, the gains far outweigh the cost when you own your own home. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Then will thy heart be glad, because thou wilt own in thy own right a valuable property, and thy only cost will be the king's taxes. So, talking about after you have satisfied the conditions of the loan, whether you have a 15-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage, whatever the terms of your loan are, once you have satisfied that, you have paid back all of the payments from the money that you borrowed to purchase the home, then all you will have is your property taxes. That's the only thing that you have left. You own your home free and clear. You have equity in your property. The property has probably increased in value, and you're sitting in a nice financial position, and all you owe is your taxes. Also will thy good wife go more often to the river to wash thy robes, that each time returning she may bring a goatskin of water to pour upon the growing things. So as she goes back and forth doing her daily activities, she's bringing the water in which she can nourish the plants, the herbs, the garden in which she created, and the property that you two own together that is hers. She has her nice space where she can grow things that will be nourishing and satisfying for her family's body. And as she continues to make her way and go to the river, as this is saying, to wash the clothes, she is doing that most happily because she can bring back water in which to, again, water the plants, the garden, the fruits, even the animals, if you have enough space where you can have animals or chickens or things like that. Thus come many blessings to the man who owns his own house, and greatly will it reduce his cost of living. making available more of his earnings for pleasure and the gratification of his desires. This then is the fifth cure for a lean purse: own thy own home. So this chapter specifically talked about, or this segment of the book, why home ownership is so vitally important. So if this is a path that you desire to go down, having a home of your own, then there are some professionals, like we talked about last week. You have to have your wealth counsel or your financial team that is going to help you stay on the right track. Make sure you're not overextending yourself or over leveraging yourself with debt, trying to get into a home. Seek out a loan officer, a mortgage loan originator, someone who will be able to get you pre-approved for a home, someone that you can talk to and tell about how much you want to spend on a monthly payment. Think about how much you pay in rent, and how much that you can comfortably put down as a down payment on your home, and how much you can comfortably pay as a payment, including, you will be responsible for your utilities and your taxes and homeowners insurance. Things like that will all go into your cost of living for having your own home. But look at how much you're spending now in your necessities to run your life, excuse me, from your living perspective. And then you can count the cost and work with a professional, like I said, a loan officer, a realtor, someone who can help you count the cost from where you are to where you want to be and have your own home. And then you can start to put the pieces in place so that you can have a reasonable down payment. You can see what down payment assistance or first time home buyer programs are out there that will be able to assist you as well on your journey to having a home of your own. Home ownership is the fifth cure for a lean person. So then our mantra, declaration, affirmation that I wrote down for today is: I invest with wisdom and seek wise counsel in all financial decisions. So if we're going to make about our home a profitable investment, we want to look at the area in which we want to buy the home. If you have children, you want to look at the school district. You want to look at the surrounding areas. Is it going to be a safe space for your children to grow and play and run? Um, you want to consider the neighborhoods, if there are parks in the area, if there are libraries close by. Just some things to think about. I said the school district and the schools in the area, but those are some of the things that you want to consider. If it's in an industrial area, is there some kind of plant nearby? Those are some things that you will want to think about or consider, because they won't be environments that are necessarily conducive to growing your own fruits and vegetables because of the pollutants that are in the air and that probably are in the soil. So there are some things to just consider, to think about. And when you get your team of people in place, your professionals that can help you on your journey, they'll help make the transition from living and paying a landlord to home ownership a little more easier, and it works out better for you in the end. So just wanted to share that with you all today. That is the fifth cure for a lean purse: make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. So would love to hear your key takeaways from this one. If you own your own home, share some of the value that you receive from having your own home that you didn't experience when you rented and you lived in a property that was owned by someone else. So, want to wish you all an amazing day. Be positive, be prosperous. Bye bye.